Okay, today is Thursday, October 23rd, I think, 2025. And I'm hiking today up here in the Oquirrh Mountains. Most of my hikes here in northern Utah have been in the Wasatch Mountains over on the east side of the Salt Lake Valley. Today I'm hiking in the Oquirrh Mountains, which make up the west side of the valley here. I'll see if I can give you a little bit of perspective. So those are the Wasatch Mountains over there, and down there is, you know, Salt Lake area suburbs. That's probably like Harriman and Daybreak this far south. This mound of kind of dirt that you see there is oh, can I do this? I'm having a hard time zooming that in, but anyway, that's the Kennecott copper mine. So the Oquirrh Mountains are here. I'm hiking along this kind of ridge line, and then down on the other side is so let's get the exposure. So down there is a city called Tooele. Tooele, that's Tooele, I think. Like Oquirrh is Oquirrh. So how's that for a spelling of something that sounds like it should be pronounced or spelled Oker? So I'm on this trail up to hopefully Butterfield Peak. We'll see how far I get. Ordinarily I do some video while I'm hiking, but man, this trail, it didn't waste any time at all going uphill. I mean, it was straight up right out of the gate, and narrow and rocky, and I just didn't feel good trying to do video while hiking. So this is the first place where I felt like I can kind of stop and take a break, get some water. I think I'm like 0.6 miles in. I think I got 0.7 miles to go to the peak. There may be Butterfield Peak, sometimes called Butterfield Peaks, plural, because there's like 3 peaks kind of together up there. There's Butterfield Peak, and then there's White Pine Peak, I think, is one, and Kelsey Peak, I think, is the other. A lot of people try to do all 3 in one day, so it's often referred to as Butterfield Peaks. I'll be happy to do one. And there may be a couple of things that might prevent that. We'll see. One is just the weather. Not today's weather. Today's weather is beautiful, sunny, you know, and nice temperature for hiking. It's I think probably in the 60s up here. But last week we had quite a bit of rain down in the valley, which means we had quite a bit of snow up here at elevation. So I started this hike at like 7,700, almost 7,800. And I think Butterfield Peak is like 9,300 and some. And so, well, while we had rain down in the valley, there's a lot of snow up here. And I mean, even though last week has been, you know, nice and highs in the, you know, 50s and 60s and lows in the, or maybe 60s and 70s, lows in the 40s at the lowest, always above freezing. But I'm not sure all that snow has melted off yet. So it may be that this trail isn't passable by the time I get up there. And then the other thing is just that even if it turns out that the trail is in pretty good shape, I'm not so sure I am. We'll have to see. We spent all summer in Florida this year, which means 0 hiking, certainly 0 hiking, 0 being at elevation. And so this is my first hike all year. October 23rd, first time I've been out hiking, and first time I've spent any appreciable amount of time at elevation. So we'll see how it goes. I'm going to go as far as I can, and that's the way it's going to go. So we'll see what happens. So I finally got to a relatively flat spot in the trail. So that there is a better view of the upper part of the Kennecott copper mine. I want to talk a little bit. This is the trail. This is the trail I'm on, and this is a place where I feel like I can walk and talk at the same time and hold a camera. Fall colors are pretty much all gone. Well, in fact, they are, for all practical purposes, all gone. But it was a nice day. It's a great day for a hike. I love today. So, yeah, this is the trail. That Kennecott copper mine. They started finding copper in these Oquirrh Mountains in 1903. 1906, they started seriously mining it in that mine over there. 1906, so, and it's been in continuous operation to this day, and you know, plans to go forward. So 119 years or something like that, they've been digging copper out of this mountain. 19 million tons. 19 million tons of copper they've dug out of this mountain since 1906. The scale, so it's the biggest man-made hole in the ground in the world. It's like 3/4 of a mile deep. I think it's like 1.5 miles across, something like that at the top. And the scale of everything in it is just huge. So, you know, Matthew drives a big 18-wheel dump truck that they use for paving, asphalt paving, and his truck, it's called a strong arm. I think his truck has a payload capacity of, like, I want to say, I forget exactly, but I think it's like in the neighborhood of 40, 50, 60 tons, something like that. Just the payload, not the truck. These trucks that they use to haul dirt around in the mine, 320 tons. Each truckload is 320 tons of dirt. Never mind the weight of the truck itself. Tires on these trucks are 12 feet in diameter. They can't bring them here. There's no way they can get them on a road to the mine, so they have to bring them to the mine in pieces and assemble them there. They're just too big. 24 feet tall, something like that. Everything about that mine is just amazingly big, huge numbers. And besides copper, they get, I think, hundreds of thousands of ounces of gold out of there every year, millions of ounces of silver. They get, I think, molybdenum is another one. And then there's another mineral they get. It starts with a T. I forget the name of it. Terrium or terricurium or something like that. Used in photovoltaic panels, solar panels. So, yeah, amazing stuff going on at the Kennecott copper mine. This is the first level place on this trail. It's been nice to be able to kind of do something besides go straight uphill. Nice trail though. So I've gained about 1,000 feet in elevation. Now I'm up at like 8,800. I'm up above the top part of the mine now. Still can't see down in it really, but there's my trail going up that way. And then this is looking west, more or less, over towards Nevada, I think. I'm not sure what that mountain range is over there on the far side of Tooele. I forget the name of that, but I think just on the other side of that is Nevada. So. I'm not sure, but I think that might be the peak that I'm heading to. We'll find out. The trail is still pretty good, in good shape. There's still some snow up here. You can see some over there, you know, in the shadows, and there's some up ahead there, but the trail, for the most part, is dry and very passable so far. And I am doing okay, really. Still got a ways to go, and some steep climb coming up here, but so far so good. We'll just see how much longer I can hold out. Doing well so far, though. Wasn't sure I had it on video. So I made it. This is Butterfield Peak, 9,371 feet. And boy, up here at the top, the trail just kind of goes away, and you know, it just becomes an adventure, and you're going uphill until you reach a point where no matter which direction you look, it's downhill. And that's kind of this. It's so out there is Salt Lake. You can see how cruddy the air is today. I thought I could zoom. Boy, as it was videoing, but I guess I can't zoom. But anyway, so that's looking east out toward the Wasatch Mountains. I got some infrastructure up here. I don't know what this is. Some kind of radio tower. I don't know if it's one of those ham radio things. Matthew would know. He's a ham radio guy. And then this over here is a peak that I'm glad I'm not going to, because that one does look pretty snowed in. And I don't know what this outbuilding is here. It's an old truck, is what it is. Man, I don't know how they drove this truck up here. There must be an old road or something. They sure didn't bring it up the trail I just hiked up. So, and then that way's looking out west toward Duella. So here it is. I made it, which just goes to show I'm still tough. I can still handle it. So I'll tell you what, the first thing I did when I got up here was put on this jacket. All these summits up here, no matter how high or how low, or no matter how steep or anything, one thing's true of all of them: they are windy. It's windy up here. And so I put on this jacket. So now it's time for a break. And you know, I've always carried dry roasted peanuts with me on hikes. They're good. You know, you don't have to worry about them melting and stuff like that, easy to eat. I was hiking a couple of years ago up on Mount Ogden with a friend of mine, and we had a break, and I'm eating my dry roasted peanuts, and he has smokehouse almonds, and he offers me some. I thought, well, yeah, sure, yeah, I got my peanuts, but who can pass up smokehouse almonds? And I'm telling you, ever since then, smokehouse almonds have it hands down over dry roasted peanuts when it comes to a hiking snack, a hiking food. But today, I believe I have the ultimate in hiking nutrition. I have a raspberry fritter. A raspberry fritter, which has become like my all-time favorite food in the world. I try not to go overboard on these things, but I've told my family already, when I get to be 90, I'm eating one of these things every day. My hope is that I can live at a place where I can get up in the morning, I walk to the store, I get a raspberry fritter, I eat it at the store, and I walk back home. That's my ideal of an ideal 90-year-old morning. So we'll see how it works out. For right now, I'm eating this one. On the way back down now. And it's just amazing how absolutely quiet it is up here. You hear the call of a crow every now and then. And that is it. If you ever want to be alone, someplace where it's quiet, come up high in the mountains. So I'm back down off the steepest part of the mountain, but so it's clouded up a little bit. The sun's behind a cloud right now, or I should say a cloud's in front of the sun, and so I'm keeping this jacket on for just a little while longer. I thought maybe I'd be peeling it off by now, but still just chilly enough and a little bit breezy, so I'll keep it on through this part of the hike. I think I've got a little over 1.25 miles to get back down to where my car is. Been a good day, been a good hike. I attribute it to the much of it to the superfood raspberry fritter. Those things are awesome, you know. I'm all about health and nutrition. I like the idea of being healthy and eating healthy. But every now and then you just got to have a fritter. You know, if there's in case of nuclear war, you can have all the canned bread and SpaghettiOs you want. I'm gonna make sure I've got a couple dozen raspberry fritters and I'm good to go. After I get done with those, then I don't care. I can die in peace. So this is the way my mind goes when the air gets too thin. I start thinking of stuff like that. Go figure. Okay, I've gotten down low enough to where, even though it's still a little bit cloudy, but it's time to take off this jacket. So I think I can do the rest of it fairly comfortably now. It's not nearly as windy as it was up on top. So this downhill is always the toughest part. And this particular downhill to this point has been kind of a good news, bad news thing. The good news is, you know, so often on a downhill, my left knee typically is the one that takes the hit and starts to hurt. And the good news is, man, so far my left knee feels fine. It's like it's healed. I mean, I feel really good. The bad news is that my right knee hurts. So what's up with that? How do you figure that? It's not bad though. I can still handle it. It's not as bad. My right knee isn't as bad as my left knee used to be. I don't know how my left knee got better other than just by not hiking on it all summer, but I'm glad it feels really good. Both knees, really, even though the right knee is a little bit iffier than it's ever been before. There's a little bit of fall left. Not too much, but a little bit. I always think it's so cool when those aspens are tucked in amongst the evergreens, you know, and you see the dark green. I'm shooting into the sun, so it's hard to get the exposure right, but you see the dark green of the conifers and the bright flaming yellow of the aspens. It looks pretty cool.